They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And he's able to put it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, and it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. It's Jabril Peppers, the rookie from Michigan. Well, look at that, Chuck. A rookie picked the rookie on that play.
How about that? Is that rookie-on-rookie crime? But you know what happens, too. If you're a rookie defender, you tend to adjust to the game a little bit quicker than if you're a quarterback. Too many things still going through his mind. And on that play, the rookie defender won the battle.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now Pirine. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They start on the ground with Pirine. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Here's Pirine. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Redskins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Now Smith. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it. But it just kept carrying and carrying. And he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Preston Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is fielded at the 27. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Smith. Out to the left. It's complete to Dodson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Mahomes going to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now it's Mahomes again. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Smith. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. 2nd down following the incompletion. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now a handoff looking right. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the interception by the Redskins indeed leads to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throw left side complete. That's Hill. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Mahomes now on first down. Pryor has it complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Ryan Anderson. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's got his man. This is Jackson. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And this is incomplete. Samaje Perine, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, balls out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. Here's Mahomes to throw. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down.
And now here is another interception. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now Kelly on the toss. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Smith. This one caught by Crowder. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here comes Kansas City. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Mahomes now to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now here's Mahomes. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Mason Foster leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. On second down, here's Mahomes. Being under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ryan Anderson in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Jabril Peppers with his first career INT. And now running right through it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Throwing is Smith. Forced out to his left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Smith now to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3 and not giving up 6.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Kelly on the counter. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3rd and long. It's Smith. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
A great return there of 22 yards. And now here comes Kansas City. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. 1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. Sua Cravens with a pick. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter what.